Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
All right, well, welcome to the episode today, everybody. Today we have Lindsay and Kaylee from Vail Events. Everybody say hello. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
All
Happy
right.
to be here.
So happy
Excited
to
for
have you
having
guys.
us.
Yeah, of course. I'm very, very glad to have you guys on. So I guess, Lindsay, we'll start with you. Just kind of tell us about Vail Events, how you started, maybe like what inspired to get you into the wedding and events industry. And yeah.
Yeah, so I never really wanted to be a wedding planner. It just kind of happened over time. I went to school for graphic design, and I also was planning my own wedding during school. So I actually designed all my own wedding stationery. So I did all the
Cool.
programs, invitations, save the dates, and this was a long time ago. But right after my wedding, I started my first company called Cruiser Design, and I started designing wedding invitations for all my friends. They were all getting married at that time, and I was like, oh, I should turn this into a business. So started my first company, just stationery, started loving the wedding industry. I got an internship at a wedding planning store. And really from there, I kind of started my own thing. And it's been great ever since. So Vail Events happened because I actually just was inspired by a few other companies on how they had a team. Started my own thing with Vail Events with a training program. That's what it originally was a training program I put together for people who wanted to become a wedding planner, wedding coordinator. And then I was realizing all these people I knew were like buying my program. They wanted to be a wedding planner too. And I was like, how about instead of you doing your own thing, you just join my team? And that's really where Vail Events created our team that we have now. We have 30 girls on our team. That's lead planners.
30?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that. That's crazy.
Yep. We've got 12 lead planners who they all take weddings. And then we got assistants, like day of wedding assistants, and then teardown crew who we absolutely love. We couldn't do it without them. And we're in Topeka, Lawrence. We have a lead planner in Manhattan, Kansas. And then a majority of our weddings are in Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah. So has it always been like Midwest, it's like kind of based around Kansas City type
Yeah,
of?
really wherever our planners are and like where they're at. We don't travel too far out, but yeah, we've got people in different cities. So.
That's so interesting. I didn't know it was like that big of a organization. That's really, really neat. I remember the first event that I was on was with Kaylee, and it was at Union Station. And I think that was the first time I was with Vail Events. At least that was the first time that you hired just me. It was just to come play piano.
Yes.
And I still remember like walking into this just beautiful, just picturesque, like these amazing drapes, and then all of a sudden this lovely grand piano in the middle of just Union Station. And I still have the picture on my Instagram, and every time I scroll past it was like, oh my gosh, this was a crazy day. And but I remember walking in there and being like, oh, these guys are for real, like for real. I've never seen Union Station this pretty. And then I meet Kaylee, and we had a ton of fun at that one. I was super nervous going into that because though I've played piano for 20 years at this point. That was the first time I was called on to just like come do this solo. And I was like, this is a really big wedding planner. I was like, we got to make sure that, we do a good job here.
But really, I'm like the most chill human being.
Yeah. And then the more I get to like, we work more events with you. I think we worked a handful, beyond that. And then obviously Hitched Helping Hands, which we'll kind of maybe chat about that a little bit here later. But yeah. Okay. So Kaylee, how did you get started on the team?
Yeah, I kind of forced my way in and I never left.
Okay.
So I was a junior in college and I knew I wanted to be a wedding planner, but I was just going to school for journalism and business. And so I was like, well, I just need to know somebody. Like you just kind of have to force your way in. I feel like you just have to know people in the industry. And so I reached out to Lindsay and I was like, hey, do you do internships? And she said no. I was like, well, moving on. And then literally, no joke, it was like 2 to 4 hours later, she emailed me again and was like, you know what? Actually, I need help this Saturday. And I emailed on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. She was like, I need help this Saturday. Can you be there? And I was like, what on earth? Okay, sure.
What is happening?
So I showed up that Saturday. It just was so funny too, like how quick of a turnaround. It was like, nope, just kidding. Yeah, like I need help. I feel like we always.
So, and then on my end, At this time with Vail Events, we had like 4 other planners. It was me
Okay.
and 4 other girls. The 4 girls I knew personally. They all had wedding planning businesses, and I kind of asked them to join my team. And this was when we really didn't have assistants on wedding day, which I don't
Sure.
know how we even functioned. So Kaylee was like the first person on the team that I personally didn't know. So I was like, it was just hard, to be like trusting people and all that. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was also like 6 months pregnant, and I was like, you know what? I probably could use some extra hands. I was a little nervous going into it, just being all by myself. And I was like, this is actually perfect. So I was like, never mind. I would love for you to come if you're free on
I
Saturday.
take it back. Please come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially,
We do,
I got the
we
job.
do internships now. We now do those. So.
See, Haley, look.
I know. Yeah. So then I went to the Saturday, to that wedding on Saturday. And then after that, so I did an internship that summer, became an assistant. And then I got married right after college in 2020. And Lindsay was actually my day of coordinator.
No, I was going to ask if you had. Okay. That's
Yeah,
great.
So that's kind of fun. And then I think it was like 2 days after my wedding. I don't think it was the day after. I think it was like maybe a couple days after. She was like, okay, so do you want to be a lead? I'm like, yep. And then I was a lead.
Yeah.
And then 3 years ago this fall, and I did it just part-time. I worked at a hotel and I worked at a law firm doing events. And then
Wow.
3 years ago, 3 years ago, I quit my full-time job and started doing this full-time, and I became our office manager. Lindsay and I worked together every day for the
A lot.
last.
Yeah. That's so much fun. That's a really, really like just interesting and fun story. So I guess both of you have been in the industry for a good amount of time now. You've seen a lot of things. You've done a lot of things. Like, I guess from each of you, and you can choose who goes first here, but like crazy wedding stories. Just like give me your best and see what you got.
Yeah. I can go first. So there we see a lot. There's just
There's some
see
we
a lot.
can't talk about.
Yeah. The NDAs have been signed. Yeah.
But one of my craziest ones, I think, this was really early on, actually, when I was a lead. But I was outside with the bride and groom, like doing sunset photos or something. I come in and I smell fire, which nowadays, if you smell fire, half the time it's people lighting their little custom matchbooks. And I'm like, cut
Sure.
it out. But I smelled fire and I was like, well, that's concerning. I ran up to my assistant and I'm like, what's going on? We then figured out there was a coffee pot on the edge of the bar, and the bartender happened to be behind the bar. The coffee pot fell on top of the bartender, burnt the bartender, and also fell into a box and started a fire behind the bar. And so that was put out. Well, the bartender, he like had to go, he went to the hospital. And so the ambulance had to come. And I was like, look, the venue had just windows all on the front of it. And I was like, I'm not having all these people find out there's an ambulance here. So that I had the ambulance go to the side street, and then we like got him out and we covered it all. But I think my biggest flex is that nobody knew that, like, unless you were standing right there when it happened, nobody knew that the ambulance came.
That's one of my biggest like just amounts of respect for wedding planners are, and we as the entertainment, we see a lot of the moving pieces, and we work a lot like alongside you guys, like with throughout the night, and we don't hear about all this stuff, but sometimes we see it, and it's just a testament to how professional the Kansas City just scene is with weddings, because I mean we've had some crazy stuff too that we've seen in the background, but it's always been handled just perfectly. And that's nuts.
And it's so satisfying to know that, like, oh, well, this and this happened, but nobody knew about it, Or like I always tell brides, like, look, once it gets to your rehearsal, like, you're not making a single decision, you're not doing anything, you're not finding out about anything, you are just here to enjoy every minute of the day. And then like a month from now, we can recap and be like, man, you want to know what happened at your wedding?
And then a couple years later, we're going to talk about it and flaunt it on a podcast.
It's like, yeah. You see so many things. Like, I do a lot of teardowns, and that's when a lot of the crazy stuff happens, because the longer the night goes on, the more adult beverages have been had. And I mean, I had one a couple months ago where I thought there was taco sauce on the dance floor. It was blood because people collided and somebody lost their tooth.
You didn't do a taste test, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's been a lot of broken bones on the dance floor.
Broken bones on the dance floor.
Things
Well, I
popped
mean,
out of sockets.
they're not going hard unless you're breaking bones. I mean, that's just the band's not doing their job, I guess, if that's the case. Lindsay, what about you?
Well, it's hard to like think of a crazy moment, but the things that stand out to me when I look back. So we actually calculated a few months ago. We're over. So since I've started weddings, it's been 13 years. We've hit, like, counting all of those I did kind of by myself, we hit 500 weddings, like
Oh my
with
gosh.
all avail events plus the ones I did kind of when I had my own little thing. So it's crazy to
Yeah.
even like remember all of them. But when I look back at those moments, it's like the moments when something was either going to happen or we had to figure out, we had to pivot the timeline with the vendor team and be like, hey, we're going to change it up a little bit and do it this way. And then
Mhm.
it literally ends up being way more perfect than what we even planned because of like something that was going to happen. And I'm thinking of like rain, or there was a speech that was, 30 minutes long, or like,
Yeah.
and then when we come in, we're like, okay, we got to figure out what to do. How do we change this literally in the moment? Those are like the moments that stand out to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a rush. Like that was so fun to like have to fix on the spot and just make a fast decision. Like it's like a game. Like I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had stuff happen to where like my guitar died like right before the first dance, and it is this beautiful off-track song, and it's like, well, I've never played it on the piano, but
Here we go.
here we go. And then it ends up being this like incredible moment. It's like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
we can do these things. This is
Yeah.
the improv skills. I don't want to do it all the
It is.
time,
No, not all the time.
but it's nice to know that like, all right, you have that as a backup. But again, it's just that it attests that level of professionalism that we have here.
Yeah.
And
We
when
had
you're
a wedding at the Bardot, and literally 5 seconds after all the guests got down into the main room from being on the terrace, downpour. And it was like a hot 15 minutes. I'm like, it's gonna rain, get everyone down. Like, but like no one knew it was even gonna rain. Like no one was looking up. Just obviously the wedding planner was worried about it. So stuff like that. And then we even got the bride and groom out for sunset pictures. Like we had to change up the timeline a little bit. It was literally perfect. I
yeah,
love that.
that's
And that's
awesome.
why you hire a planner.
And that's why you hire a planner, because that's all we do
Yeah.
is put out the fires, literally, and
Yeah,
make sure your day is going well. Yeah.
that's awesome. So this is a question that I always love to ask. So if you weren't in the wedding industry, you weren't in the events, anything like that, what would you be doing? What would you want to be doing? Okay.
Yeah, so that is a solid question. I foster dogs. I'm currently have my 24th foster dog, and so dogs are like half my personality. My ideal situation would just be like working with a rescue, helping all of the dogs that need homes. There's no money in that because it's all like foster volunteer based. So my money option would be doing like sports events,
Okay.
like the Royals or the Chiefs, doing like game day stuff or like events
Yeah.
related to that. I think would be really fun. Yeah, I think that's it. Lindsay?
I feel like the Savannah Bananas would be like such a fun organization to
Yes.
be like on there. Everything they do, I see their stuff and it's like I want to do that. Like it's
And their
crazy.
management is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. Great
Like
team.
it's so impressive. So I would work for the Savannah Bananas.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I originally wanted to be an art therapist. So that's
That's cool.
I have a minor in ceramics, really random fun fact.
Okay. Shouting out the arts and ceramics here. That's cool. Lindsay, what about you?
So it's funny because mine's similar to Kaylee's because it's still like an event. Like it's still events, but not weddings. And I love like live music. So I love what you guys do with your band and everything. I think it's so cool. You guys are so talented. Like it takes so much work to be that talented. I don't have that talent, but I could definitely like be a band manager or like put on
Yeah.
like a country music festival.
It's an important role.
Yeah.
You
I think
need
it's so
a
fun.
band leader. Yeah, you need someone in charge
Yeah.
because when you throw a bunch of musicians in the same room, we're insane. We really are.
Yeah. You're
And when you put us all collectively together, it's just mayhem. We need someone to manage us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important. It's a good one.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. What kind of trends do you guys see? I guess like what are some of your favorite trends that you've seen this year come across like the Midwest, like that are like you're seeing maybe at like a lot of different weddings or I don't know, just like kind of favorite trends you're seeing.
That is a great question. Personally, obviously it's great to be trendy. Love that. You want to, fit in with the times. I'm one that I feel like I don't really push trends. Like I want my client's wedding to be perfect for them. I want it to make, I want it to be their style and just really reflect who they are as a couple. So I feel like I don't really like lean into trends a whole
Yeah.
bunch. I lean into how is this day going to be exactly reflecting you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that was.
That's a great answer. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's equal parts to be like, I feel like you can follow trends and that's great, but it's also, there's something to be said about like a genuine and unique experience,
Right.
especially
Okay,
on the biggest day of your life. I mean,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say color in weddings. I'm a big color gal. And for a long time, it was like no color. And now
Mhm.
color is coming back. And I'm like, praise the Lord.
Here for
Because
it. Yeah.
like all the just like wildflowers, bright, like colors, I'm here for it. Like, and people always say, oh, I want my wedding to be just super timeless, white and black, no color. And I'm like, well, color doesn't expire. Like if you're gonna do chevron hot pink zebra print, yeah, you're back in 2008. But like
That was me.
if you do, yeah, Lindsay's, but if you do, tasteful color, like you're setting yourself apart from others, like
Mhm.
it's not.
I feel like there's a little bit of the arts and ceramics speaking when you're talking about that with the color that's important. It's big. I mean, I see the nails. I understand. It's the bright. You got to do it. Okay. So tell me about like, do you guys have like any like additional services? Like, what are some of the things that separate you from other planning services?
Yeah, so we offer 3 different packages basically for planning, full service, partial planning, and then you got your month of / day of. That's, our main packages we offer. Now we've also brought back the stationery. So I talked about earlier how I started with that, and now we're bringing it back. We've got an amazing graphic designer now on our team. We're working with our clients from start to finish. Most of the time, they're asking us all the questions. So it's like, hey, we're already helping you a little bit with your design. Let's just, help you with your stationery as well. So I thought it was a good add-on with like invitations. And then we do a lot of just like day of paper. You got the place cards and the menus and seating charts. It's just so convenient. We'll design it, we'll print it, we'll bring it with us on wedding day. And then now we're also helping our clients with hotel blocks, which is super nice.
Cool.
We've started some connections with hotels around the area in Kansas City. And so it's just, again, more convenience, being able to help the bride with like more things that we know she's going to need to do anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, everybody, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Lindsay, Kaylee, I love every event that I work with you guys. Every single one, as you mentioned before, is just unique in its own way. And it's visually amazing every single time. And coming in as a vendor and seeing just a very well put together day and wedding coordination, it's a really satisfying thing because it makes everybody's, not just the guests, the bride and groom, but all the vendors' lives really easy as well. And there's just a lot to be said about that. But everybody, please go check out Veil Events. We will post the website in the description below. But thank you two so much for coming on today. I hope we can do this again. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.